It's now Hillary Clinton who wants to start an air war with Russia over Syria by calling for a no-fly zone. We have 2,000 nuclear missiles on hair-trigger alert, and Mikhail Gorbachev, the former premier of the Soviet Union, is saying we are closer to a nuclear war than we have ever been. Under Hillary Clinton, we could slide into nuclear war very quickly from her declared policy in Syria. So I won't sleep well at night if Donald Trump is elected, but I sure won't sleep well at night if Hillary Clinton is elected. Fortunately, we have another choice other than these two candidates who are both promoting lethal policies. But on the issue of war and nuclear weapons and the potential for nuclear war, it's actually Hillary's policies, which are much scarier than Donald Trump, who does not want to go to war with Russia. He wants to seek modes of working together, which is the route that we need to follow, not to go into confrontation and nuclear war with Russia.
Who out of those two is the lesser of the two evils? Even if you don't like either of them, who's the lesser of the two evils?
It's not a matter of not liking them. It's a matter of that in this election, we're not just deciding what kind of a future we will have, but whether we will have a future at all or not. It's important that we stop beating the war drum around Russia, which long preceded Syria. So, we have sort of forced Russia into a very defensive posture. NATO has been steadily moving to essentially surround Russia. Now we're conducting war games around Russia. We are dropping fake nuclear weapons in Nevada, preparing for this potential nuclear war, which Hillary Clinton is begging to start. And let's just be clear what it is that Hillary Clinton's policy on Russia is. It is essentially a virtual declaration of war. That is what will happen if Hillary Clinton proceeds with her plan to create a no-fly zone. That means we are shooting down Russian aircraft over Syria. Steve, are you okay with a nuclear war? I mean, how are you going to feel if we're going to nuclear war? 6 months from now, we could be at a nuclear war with Russia, thanks to Hillary's foreign policy. We've seen what Hillary can do in Libya. Hillary says what she wants to do in Syria. It's important not to drink the Kool-Aid. Don't just be a victim of the propaganda. You really need to look at the track record here and then make a principled decision. What exactly is the exit strategy here? Because it is a race to the bottom between the greater and the lesser evil. It's not only the terrible things that Donald Trump says, it's the awful things that Hillary Clinton actually does. It's not... There could be no more catastrophic wars out there than what she already single-handedly led the charge for in Libya. It's not acceptable to be bombing millions of Muslims and say that, oh no, Donald Trump, you cannot ban Muslims, but I, Hillary Clinton, I've bombed Muslims. That's not okay either. It's time for us, we the people, to stand up with the power that we have and reject the lesser evil, fight for the greater good, like our lives depend on it, because they do. We have the power to create the world we deserve. In this election, we're not just deciding what kind of world we will have, but whether we will have a world or not going forward, in terms of the climate, in terms of endless and expanding war, in terms of the nuclear catastrophe that we are teetering on the brink of right now. I will not sleep well if Donald Trump is elected, but I will not sleep well with Hillary Clinton elected either, knowing that we could slip into World War III going nuclear at any moment, because Hillary has already effectively declared war on Russia. So in this election, we're not just deciding what kind of a world we will be, but whether we will have a world or not going forward in terms of these endless expanding wars, the climate crisis, the potential for nuclear warfare. We need to stand up and do the right thing. I am not at all reassured by the policies of Hillary Clinton, who led us into the catastrophe of Libya, who approved of the war in Iraq. And you put her in charge, she will start an air war with Russia over Syria. She's already told us that she wants to create a no-fly zone. Democracy is not who do we hate the most and who are we most afraid of. Democracy needs an affirmative agenda. It needs a moral compass.
It also needs a real...
Yes, because, Hillary Clinton wants to start an air war war over Syria with a nuclear-armed power with 2,000 nuclear weapons on hair-trigger alert. Given Hillary's track record, not only in Iraq but in Libya, you know, I think this is about as dangerous as it gets. Donald Trump wants to bar Muslims from entering into this country, but Hillary Clinton has been very busy bombing Muslims in other countries. You know, I think we live in a democracy. At the end of the day, we have 4 choices, and the American people have yet to hear about their other 2 choices. They deserve not only to have a right to vote, but they have a right to know who they can vote for.
Jen.
I find Hillary Clinton's actions and track record is very troubling. Hillary Clinton, you know, has been promoting these wars that have killed 1 million black and brown people in Iraq, for example. The Democratic Party has become the party of deportation and detentions and night raids with, you know, millions of people deported under Barack Obama. Some of them include the refugees from Honduras, where Hillary Clinton gave the thumbs up to a coup from which thousands of people have been fleeing, who have not been welcomed into this country. And Hillary, in fact, has supported many of the White House policies of deportation and detentions. On, you know, the issue of nuclear war, I am very concerned about trouble breaking out in Syria in this air war that Hillary is threatening to have. So, you know, as disturbing as Donald Trump's talk is, I find Hillary Clinton's track record is actually very much of concern too. So in my view, we need to reject the lesser evil and fight for the greater good like our lives depend on it, because in fact they do.